He just said one day, and I didn't believe him, he said, "I want to build a rocket ship." And this was about a year and a half ago. And I thought he was kidding. He was not kidding.
This is the Ray Gun Gothic rocket ship. It's a 40-foot tall retro rocket ship that we proposed to Burning Man for funding, and we were approved for funding. I've always been fascinated by and focused on a time where pre-space travel, when humans still imagined themselves living and traveling through space, wearing jetpacks, and the future of the human species was very romanticized and optimistic.
There's a huge history and tradition in this area in general of building, of the blue-collar builder. And I think this rocket ship project in general, it ties a lot of that blue-collar builder's ethic and aesthetic back to the current era. And I think Burning Man, it affords artists to do things that are just absolutely not possible in the world of art that's driven by the gallery and the curator.
The thing I like about building art in West Oakland is that there's a huge community of friends, and a lot of them are fabricators, a lot of them are artists, and they're very supportive of what we're doing. Sean and I thought about, will we be able to do this anyplace else? And our answer was no.
Art is better with friends. That's what I always say. Like, there's this idea of the kind of lone artist sitting in his basement toiling away, and I think the people who work in this crew are not interested in that. Well, why in West Oakland here, and why in Oakland? Well, this is an industrial center, you know? You have buildings like this where there are 5-ton cranes and, you know, power and zoned for industrial use, but, you know, we don't make anything in this country anymore. The industrial base here is dying. So all these spaces, you know, nobody really wants to do anything here in West Oakland. They've got these great industrial spaces, and for those of us that are interested in doing big industrial art, it's great. You know, no one minds what we do here for now, and we've got these great buildings with cranes and roll-up doors and high ceilings, so we could build this kind of stuff.
Loading the trucks. We got two 50-footers here, I think, tonight. We're going to try to get them loaded up, and we've got a big box truck coming tomorrow, and we should be out of here Sunday morning early. Things are rolling right along. We've been mitigating problems as they come up, and I feel like that we're pretty well prepared.
Once we got the trucks loaded last night, there was this sense of, it had this energy that just, you could see it in everyone. By having the rocket ship on the truck, it was kind of it was that moment that it's happening, you know. It was exhilarating to see the rocket assembled for the first time. It was just as we had imagined it to be, and it looks really beautiful out there on that landscape. And it's really interesting to see, to stand back and see people interact with it and engage with it and play with things within it and inside of it. We intended it to be an interactive and an immersive piece.
Yeah. I want to call Houston. Can I call Houston on this phone?
The roaming charges are a real bitch. We had so many people come out to the rocket. They were just super bright-eyed and telling us how they had seen that exact same rocket in comic books they read as kids. They had seen it on cartoons. They had imagined driving one as a kid, piloting one as a kid, and never thinking they would ever see it in real life.
Hey, on our menu today, we've got warm grain salad. It has kamut, and there's some rice grains in there, pepitas, almonds, currants, and golden raisins with a little bit of honey and spice.
I think we're all a little bit still awestruck. We watched it be built in stages, and I think we all had an idea of what it would look like when it hit the playa and was constructed, but to have it standing on its own, lit, with the interior installed, I think it was pretty spectacular, and it was beyond all of our expectations. It was quite a payoff.
We're using a magnetically constricted plasma fluid engine. Nice.
Prototype.
New Zealand. If you tell that line with a straight face over and over again, it's amazing how many people want to believe. We are laying the groundwork for tonight's launch. And we are attempting to lift the ship 1 to 3 feet in the air as a proof of concept using some experimental technology from an engineering lab in New Zealand. That's the story we're telling everybody, and we're sticking to it. There may be a simulated launch, and that may involve some pyrotechnics, which may or may not be represented, or that may or may not be the stuff we see out here in the field. And having the chance to put on a show where we're going to actually launch the rocket, that's really cool. Playing with Estes rockets when I was a kid, this is way better.
Initiate full internal rocket ship launch control sequence. All systems go for launch in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you all. This has been massive. And a massive collaboration. And it couldn't have happened without every one of you. Thank you so much.
Is this whole thing really about the rocket?
No. I think the rocket's a really good focal point. It's a really great icon, but it's just not about a physical rocket. And it never really was. It was just a way to physically manifest a whole bunch of energy and a whole bunch of dreams.
It was about the adventure of building something together and creating new family ties. And the rocket was just kind of the catalyst for it. It's something that I think this community yearns for in general and is really fed by, is the constant connection, creative connection between individuals. And this journey is just kind of the first step in a greater adventure that we have for all of us.